We're back out at the beautiful Banner shooting range for another exciting 380 comparison video. Today, the Springfield Hellcat 380 will be going head to head against another micro compact double stack pocketable 380. Some people would say this isn't an apples to apples comparison. The rest of us, no. It's going to be the Ruger LCP Max. Now, even though these pistols are slightly different in size, with the Hellcat being bigger, heavier pistol, both are considered micro compact double stack magazine fed pistols. So on paper, they're the same class of pistol. They're both chambered in 380. They both have a 10 round or better capacity. They sound awfully similar to me. So anyway, let's get to it. We'll do our LCP Max at our left-hand target set up at 7 yards. I'll do a 10-round magazine. Now you can get 12-round magazines. I don't have any for the LCP Max. Our Hellcat 380, our first magazine will be an 11-round magazine. Springfield thing is that industry-leading magazine capacity, so 10 and 12 with the LCP Max, so only 10 today. With the Hellcat, 11 and 13, so they can play that one-upsmanship game. Anyway, here we go. LCP Max, left-hand target, 10 shots, and we'll see how many, if any, hits I can put on our little 8-inch target out there today. The ammo we're shooting today is Federal Champion Training Ammo. It has the 95 grain TMJ, or Total Metal Jacket ammunition. Let's see how it does here through our firearms. Here we go. Okay, not the world's greatest group out there, but honestly, better than I expected. In this cold weather, where sort of the blood has migrated from my hands to my core, that snappy, brutal recoil of the LCP Max felt really magnified. It was very uncomfortable to shoot that magazine. Let's see if the same thing happens with our Hellcat, or if it's a little more pleasant to shoot. It also doesn't help that these firearms have been sitting on the bench for about an hour, acclimating to the temperature, shall we say, so they're cold in the hands as well. Here we go, right-hand target, 11 shots. Okay, last shot was a bullseye. The ones before it a little to the left. I think my first shot was a flyer. My next 10 are on the target. I'm going to speculate. What we'll say a better group in terms of both accuracy and precision on the target with our Hellcat 380, and a noticeably less recoil. In the cold, I wouldn't call it pleasant to shoot, but it certainly wasn't the uncomfortable, demanding recoil that our LCP Max has today. Let's do a second magazine, 10 shots at our top targets, and what I'll do is 2 shots with our right-handed, two-handed grip, 3 shots right-handed, 3 shots left-handed, 2 shots with our left-handed, two-handed grip. Because the Hellcat will have a 3-round advantage, I will extend the last left-handed, two-handed grip by 3 rounds. Here we go. Hey, LCP Max doesn't want to lose today. Okay, I kind of lost track of count in the cold, and my surprise at how many of those hits. Well, we were off to a good start, and then it all went downhill once I got distracted by my own shooting. Certainly much better than I expected. And right-handed, I feel like we did better than we do most of the time. Let's see if the Hellcat can match or better that. Here we go. Okay. Even with the round count advantage, we put probably 2 to 3 off the target, and what appears from back here to be fairly comparable groups. So while the Hellcat has less recoil, easier to shoot, slightly higher capacity, at least in our small one-handed sample today, at 7 yards, it's hard not to say that the LCP Max, surprisingly, wasn't at least as good as the Hellcat in that regard. Finish out the day, we're going to do our classic accuracy comparison test. 7 yards, I put up our 1.5-inch targets. We're going to finish off the box of ammo, shooting the last 16 rounds, 8 from each firearm. We'll start with the LCP Max left-hand target. Here we go. Okay, we might have one just off the bullseye. Either 2 or 3, it's hard to tell. We'll need to use target cam. We're going to say 2 hits tentatively on the business card and the target. Maybe more. Could be as many as 3. Let's see if the Springfield Hellcat can do any better. Here we go. It's probably better than many people thought we would do with the LCP Max, but today it didn't want to lose. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, maybe just 1 on the target for the Springfield Hellcat. It seems like the LCP Max willed itself to victory in the accuracy test. Springfield fans in shambles. When it comes to battle Hellcat 380 versus LCP Max, as we often say on the channel, we saw 2 accurate, reliable pistols, well suited for concealed carry use. For many, the LCP Max will be easier to pocket carry or carry concealed, but the Hellcat 380 isn't far off. Some will try and sell consumers on the idea that the LCP Max is only good for contact distance shooting, but as we saw today, at 18-inch feet beyond contact range, the LCP Max was still up to the task and put the majority of its hits on target. In terms of sights, these two pistols have very similar sights, U-notch rear sights with tritium front night sights. The Hellcat 380 is optics ready, so it does have an edge on that front for those who prefer to have a micro red dot on their pistol. I'd probably give the edge in terms of trigger to the Hellcat. I prefer its flat face trigger compared to the Ruger secure action trigger on the LCP Max, but both are certainly good enough for their intended use case. As far as recoil and the ease of use aspect, the Hellcat has the clear advantage. Being the bigger, heavier pistol, it absorbs recoil better and is of a size where those with hand strength or mobility challenges will find it easier to use. For reliability, both of these firearms have been extremely reliable for us across all ammo tested. When it comes to accuracy, while we didn't represent it very well today, and even though the LCP Max won the day, I'd give the edge to the Hellcat 380. For how I shoot them, I probably shot the LCP Max a little better than normal today, while the Hellcat 380 a little less than normal. Another slight advantage the Hellcat has is in terms of bullet velocity and energy. 0.2 of an inch barrel length isn't much, but it is enough to give the Hellcat probably 15 to 20 foot-pounds of energy advantage over the LCP Max. One area where the LCP Max will have a massive advantage is price. Priced in the sub-$300 range, you can get at least 2 LCP Maxes for what one Hellcat 380 goes for. Even for those who are not budget-focused, at a $300 price difference between these two pistols, well, that's huge. At the end of the day, the LCP Max is cheaper, easier to conceal, and easier to carry. The Hellcat 380 is more expensive by a wide margin. It's slightly less concealable, but has the optics-ready slide, and is of a size that makes it a little more controllable and has better recoil. So which do you prefer? The cheaper, easier to conceal LCP Max, or the more expensive but easier to control Hellcat 380? Let us know in the comments. Well, anyway, that seems like the perfect spot to end today's video. If you enjoyed today's presentation, like it, share it with your friends and family. Those things are free, and it really helps us out. If you didn't enjoy today's video, go ahead and like it anyway. No one's going to know that you did it, and it helps us out a lot. Fred and I really appreciate you getting this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a nice night. You need a couple, eh, Frederick? Play chomp, play chewy chomp. Okay, one more while we wait. Okay. Fred's hoping for a pup cup, but he'll have to settle for a French fry and some Cheetos. You know him. Got that big booty. You'll eat a custard booty, Frederick. Oh, you beg the dipper, huh?